First of all, one of the reasons I had low self-esteem, first of all, was because, I was raped twice. And also I was in a physically, abusive relationship, and then in another mentally and emotionally abusive relationship. And so when you go through things like that, it really takes a toll on you. You begin to question yourself, you begin to think, what's wrong with me? Why do these things continue to happen? Um, and then also, I went down a path myself, I went down a path of just doing things that I knew I shouldn't be doing, promiscuous, and, just trying to find love in all the wrong places. And so all of those things really put a damper on your self-esteem. And myself, I really became the tragedies that happened to me. And because pain was all I knew, I began to self-inflict pain upon myself by allowing myself to get in toxic relationships, drinking and just doing, all kind of things. And I was really headed down a very dangerous path. But I would tell that person that's struggling with their identity and struggling with, what has happened to them in the past. The first thing I would say is that, don't accept someone's responsibility for not being able to love you. We take on that responsibility. We take on that identity, and we feel like we're not worthy. And, it's not that anything is wrong with you. It's that you allowed yourself to love someone that didn't see the value that you truly possessed. And we also do things sometimes because we don't know the value that we possess. But this is the thing. You have to understand that those are things that you did, but it's not who you are. They don't truly define you. You did what you did based on where you were in your life at that time, based on where your confidence was, where your self-esteem was, and based on, whether you love yourself or not. Everybody in this world has flaws. We all have a past. We all have things that we've done that we are not proud of, but don't allow that to become your identity. Just understand that you have to find a blessing in every lesson that you went through, everything that you've done in your life, everything that you went through in life. Find the good in that situation and magnetize that. You magnify that. Don't magnify your shortcomings or your failures. And another thing I do is I make a habit every day of affirming who I am. I affirm who I am. I affirm the great qualities that I possess, not the weaknesses, not the flaws, because we all have them. But that's what makes us who we are. The uniqueness. That's what makes us like nobody else. And one thing I did pray is because the reason a lot of times we have low self-esteem is because we're seeking approval from other people. We want to be accepted. And so we fear rejection. And then so we may pretend to be someone that we're not, to try to fit into a box, or we hide things that we've done or been through because we're ashamed of being rejected. But this is one thing that I'll tell anybody: get delivered from people. Get delivered from people. When you wake up in the morning, as long as you are pleased with yourself and you know that God is pleased with you, and as long as you go to bed at night and you have peace about yourself, then that is all that matters. Because what happens outside of you has no comparison to the greatness that's inside of you. But you have to believe that, and you have to know and affirm yourself every day. If no one else ever pats me on the back, I will pat myself on the back. I would say, good job, Shamieka, girl. You did a good job. You did that today, because I don't leave that type of power in the hands of other people. And so when we look for applause and we look for other people to tell us how good we are, then we never measure up. But when we are good enough for ourselves, then we always measure up. And so that's what I would tell someone who's struggling with confidence or low self-esteem.